It's time to get rid of those pesky weeds, if you please. They're just making the field look all gross and ugly. We don't like them. Be gone. Get out of here. I don't know. We're also going to make a new field that should be really good. I don't know. For grass for the cows? This is episode 117 of Elk Mountain.
What's going on, guys? Dirty Randy here. And we got another day. It's October. It's looking good. We spent the night in the campground there. One of our lovely little cabins. And we're going to head off 7 o'clock this morning. So, sun's coming up. But we are losing a little bit of daylight as time goes on through the year. We did get the shop to swap out some equipment for us today because, unfortunately, our weeds have grown a little bit more than we would have liked them to. So the weeder we had was not going to do the job for us. So as you can see, we got a different one that is the hoe that can take out some bigger weeds. But it's a little bit smaller, so it's going to be a bigger job. That's okay. We're going to get some help with it, and we might tackle some other jobs while we're doing stuff up here. Open this big boy up, and well, what are our options here? Well, I guess we'll throw this guy on. He doesn't have anything on there now. I was kind of planning on using him a bit today, but that's okay. That's okay. Let's take this guy out to the field and get them rolling on that. And we're going to tackle some other jobs. I think we might just, while we're up here, throw down some fertilizer. Shouldn't take us very long. The spreader we have is it's a massive range, so that's not a worry there. But other than that, we might create a little bit more field that we can plant grass in, because some of this grass is just like, I don't know, it's not the best. It's been just sitting there forever, hasn't been cut, and it's full of weeds, full of bushes. So it's probably best if we just kind of like plow a new area that we can kind of dedicate to that. We don't have mowers or anything like that up here, but that's okay. We can figure that out when the time comes, if and when we do want to tackle that. So that is going to be on the works today. So we'll whip out the plow, and we can get some help with these fields that are looking pretty good, but they'll look even better once all the weeds are out of here. All right, well, send them off. There you go. Looking better already. All right, we got our fertilizer on here. It looks comically small on this guy, but what can you do? We do need some fertilizer, so we'll back it up here and get her topped up with a couple bags. Oh yeah.
Keep her going, bud.
All right, $3,500 worth of fertilizer later. We're all topped up, and a nice little bill for the shop. I'm sure they'll appreciate that. And yeah, we can set off in this field. We'll start on our big one, that way we're not in the way of our friend who's getting rid of the weeds. And then by the time we're done, we'll hop over to the small field, and we should be good. Probably shouldn't be using the big tires on this, but it's pretty low at the moment, so I think we're fine just squeezing over these guys. I mean, again, not ideal, but I don't think we have any other options at the moment. Alright, that's pretty good. Did not take too long at all. I mean, this guy thinks he's done, but he's definitely not. So, I don't know. We might have to get some little patchwork done on this field. It is kind of wonky. And then, you know, we'll get them off on a better route for the next one and just make sure they do, you know, the entire field, regardless of if there's patches or not. Just, you know, just keep going, get them all done, right? So this field really not going to take too long. Is this thing absolutely rips, bud? But yeah, no, it's coming along. I'm debating on putting in 2 small grass fields. I don't know. We'll kind of see how things develop. I suppose if we did put in the second one, if we... Yeah, the only reason I'm hesitant to do that is because I might put something else in that spot in the future. I'm not really sure how it's going to all develop. So, you know, that being said, we might just do the 2. And like I said, we can always just get rid of it if we don't need it or need that space for something else. So, wouldn't hurt. If we're going to do the grass, I don't know, may as well. But, I mean, we don't really need it per se. It's just more so if utilizing all the land, really. Alright, that should be pretty good. We'll hop in the other tractor here, and we can get rid of the rest of the weeds in this field. We'll just do it ourselves. It's not a big deal. Alright, well, let's set off and get the rest of these guys picked out of here. Really, it doesn't seem too bad. I mean, this thing moves at a decent pace. The majority of it is done. It's just a couple little miss spots. For whatever reason, I don't know in what world someone would think this is an acceptable finished job. But yeah, here we are. So, you know, if you want the job done right, you do it yourself, or, you know, you give them a pre-designated path and a solid game plan. Alright, we got our field all finished up there, and we got them sent off on a bit better route for the big field there. It's a big job, honestly, doing that entire field. Even just doing that small one is definitely a little bit tedious, but that's what we're going with for now. In the future, maybe just spray the fields. It's definitely a lot quicker. Definitely uglier, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, you know? When you got a lot of fields to deal with, time is money for sure. Alright, we're gonna drop off our fertilizer spreader just over here. It can stay outside, not the end of the world. And we're gonna go pick up our plow and go make a new field. Alright, we got this big boy hooked up. And just kind of the back of the cow field is where we're looking. It's just, you know, going to be a strip of grass, just kind of however much room we have in there. Not the biggest of deals. And if, you know, we're not going to be able to even harvest it this season, that's fine. I just kind of want to get the field there and planted if possible. Might have to be next month. Not sure how much time we'll have or when the planting window ends, but I'm pretty sure we can do it in October, and then if that's the case, we can always do it in the second half of October. So I'm not too worried about necessarily getting it done today, but I do want to get the field made and then probably add to our little stone pile there with some more of those. So I suppose we could use this whole area that we're just driving through right now, but yeah, this is kind of what we're thinking. Yeah, we got a cattle garden there, bud. So, I don't know, let's unfold this guy, see what we're looking like for width. And, well, I don't know. Does it really matter how close we get? I suppose not. We're just going to send it. Doesn't have to be a perfectly shaped field. We're just going to kind of leave a little bit of a barrier to the fence there. And it's going to be all grass anyways, so it'll blend in. For the most part, it doesn't have to be perfectly straight. So let's do it. Clearing some bushes, clearing some weeds, and making ourselves a nice grass field for our cows. That way they can pretty much be self-sufficient up here. And if we have some straw and we can make grass and hay from that grass, then we can pretty much keep those guys good to go. You know, we could even make silage up here too if we wanted to bring our bale wrapper up here. And I suppose, yeah, we could bring our baling equipment and just use that stuff up here, considering for the most part we use our forage harvester now and a bunch of silos as opposed to just making bales. Although with our harvest coming up probably later this month, if not in November, then we will have some more silage to make. Well, I mean, that we'll kind of decide. You know, what do we want to do? We have a lot of silage. We have a lot of grass, or hay rather. So I think we might top up with some silage on that one. And of course, if we have lots of excess, we can always afford to sell that. So not a huge deal there. So we'll probably want to cut it off before the rock patch, you know. But something like that, honestly, is probably fine. We'll go back the other direction. We'll probably make it a little bit wider as well. Mostly because I want to get rid of that big bush up to the right. You know, who loves a big bush? This is not the 80s anymore, folks. Not that I would know. I don't know. 70s? I don't know. Why are we talking about bushes, Randy? I don't know. Let's just get our work done. Talking about trees. Alright, well, that went pretty swell, and I'd say that's actually a fair-sized field, to be honest with you. So we're not going to put in the other one. We'll just leave it as it is, for now at least. And we'll put this guy back away, grab the stone picker, and get going on that. I guess we kind of need to come at it from this angle. Wonderful. Alright, there we go. And, you know, I was thinking about kind of the sugar cane, all that sort of stuff. We can't get it planted this year, but that doesn't mean we can't get a field, you know, prepared for it to be planted next year as early as possible. So, you know, I think that little round field that we've had some cotton harvests and stuff in before, I think that might be a good one for sugarcane. You know, it's a nice little tucked away field. It's close to our yard. It's not that large, but it's good size that we could, you know, plant it year after year and get that done. You know, the machine is going to be a big cost, but really it's more like if you add that into the total cost of making, you know, bread and cakes and all that stuff, it should even out. You know, it's not like it's just the sugar cane that it's going to be paying it off. Not that we would even necessarily buy the machine, but if we, you know, if it popped up on sale perhaps, but leasing it was definitely the way to go there. So we're going to get all these rocks taken out of here, and it should be a good time, and then we can get well, you know, look at buying that field. I'm not sure the condition that it's in, but you know, I'm pretty sure it had soybeans in it, and I think that means it getting harvested this month. So if that's the case, it's probably not going to have anything in it over the winter, I would imagine. So that's awesome. Not sure the state of the field, but yeah, we'll check it out if we go ahead and buy that, because that would be pretty nice to get. I think that's kind of the last missing link we need to be able to buy or make cakes and stuff like that, rather. I think we should be able to make bread right now, but being able to make cakes, we definitely need some sugar for that. Alright, all the stones are picked. That field's looking much better. And I figured we may as well bring it down with us if we're heading back to the ranch. You know, the long shadows are out, so that means the day is coming to an end. But, you know, we got to stay on top of our animals. Otherwise, you know, they get finicky, they run out of feed, and then we don't have enough for all of them. And it's just a little bit of a hectic time. So bring the rock picker down while we're going, and then we should be in a good spot. I'm sure that field that we just created needs some lime, but we'll get there before we plant. Probably try and do that next month. That way it's just in the ground and ready to go over the winter, and has a little bit of time to grow before the soil freezes, and the seeds are kind of good, got some roots, and then of course it is ready to rock and start growing next next spring nice and early, and we don't have to worry about planting it then. Alright, we've made it back, and we'll just drop this guy off here, buy all these other stones, and I guess, you know, if we're here to look after our animals, we're already here with our sheepies, we may as well just get them topped up as well, you know? Just a nice little quick job. Here's some water. Boopity boop 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 boop. And as we know, we need our weight on there, otherwise that is, we're not going to be able to lift up these bales. Even with the weight, carrying like one is still, I mean, you can't get away with two, but it's tough. We're going to try it. We're going to try it! With the approach. A little aggressive, but he gets it done. Not tipping too much. This is doable. Feathering that reverse gets it out of there, no problem. And for the dismount. Wonderful. Look at that. Alright, well, you know, while we're doing it, we may as well throw a third on there. Our third and final. And, you know, maybe we do need to make some bales down here. Just of grass, or hay maybe, for these gentlemen. Oh boy. Come here, you. We hit the post coming out. But that's all good. I do really enjoy this tractor, you know. It's quite useful. Quite useful. I mean, we probably could have gotten away with like a skid steer or something down here, but we do need something that's got a fair bit of power and torque, and something that can move that water trailer around. So, there you go. We'll hop back in the truck. We'll go make sure our animals are all looked after. Because, of course, we did not stay here overnight last night. We were at the campground, so we didn't get a chance to deal with these guys. But that's not a worry. We're here. We're back. It's now. And we're getting it done. Our grass is looking pretty well ready to cut. We could wait a little bit longer if we did want to. So, and you know what? We might just do that, but we'll see how everything kind of shakes out. Right, we do have some milk also to kind of drain out of there, so that is an option. I'm not sure, you know, I feel like there's probably almost too much to, you know, take in one trip, but I think if we can get our our dairy topped up here, then whatever else we have remaining will be good to bring into town to the bigger dairy. Alright, biffed the backup, but it's good. We nailed it. Alright, these guys are looking pretty full. Well, that'll do, donkey. That'll do. Alright, let's get this guy hooked up and topped up. And while that's going on, we will deal with our animals. Looks like we got a fair bit of mix in there. These guys looks like they could use some straw, so we'll get that rolling, and then we'll bring it over to probably put another couple bales in here. I imagine we're going to take the rest of this one right now. Did you say meow? No, why would I say meow? Alright, we'll pull this guy up right here. Give ourselves plenty of space to throw some more straw in there. Looks like they can maybe use some more bales on the intake there, but all around it actually still looks fairly full. But, of course, we will be making some more overnight. Alright, this guy's topped up once again, and we're going to go relieve some pressure. All of our animals are good to go. You love to see that. We don't need our hazards on. Silly. I mean, we did earlier. But, alright, we'll slip into here and get this big boy unloaded. That's a nice view, you know? The moon's coming up just over the mountains, and the sun is going down on the other side. So lovely. All the colors in the fall here. Alright, we're going to drop that off. It took 2/3 of it. You know, there's still some in there. It's not completely drained, but pretty dang close. And we'll top up with whatever else we have left over in our other barns in there tomorrow or something, I'm sure, and then bring all of that into town. It should be a GT. So, that being said, I'm going to get parked up here. Love the new little layout up here. It's quite lovely, just like the view. So that's going to be it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I did. Lots more to come, and we'll see you in the next one, all right? Bye-bye.